often are you loving yourself? Genuinely, authentically loving yourself? And how often are you loving all those beings in the river of your life? My name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today's topic is the Heart Synagogue. You may have noticed that we've been talking about the body temple, the mind church, if you've been following Heather Feather's videos. And today we're talking about the Heart Synagogue. And so we've gone from earth element, the body, the physical world, our value, into the air element, the mind church, the way we breathe our words upon the world. And today we're talking about agua de vida, the water of life, the heart that you have. Is there anyone in your life right now that you have a grievance with, that you have resentment towards, that you have a judgment about, that you have decided to energetically build a wall between yourself and those selves? And all the while, it's been nothing but a sea of atoms, and you have eternally and always will be unified with them. There are things that people do sometimes that we can certainly not understand and make up a story about, but there are also things that people can do that are apparently hurtful. That was quite obviously hurtful. You know, there's some Native Nations tribes that say to ignore a person is one of the rudest, cruelest things you can do in the universe. It's even ruder than yelling at a person. And that's because there's nothing you can do if someone chooses to not acknowledge that you exist when you clearly do. And I've held that philosophy, and I have to be mindful with it in an age of ghosting and ghosts to not choose the perspective that this is deeply disrespectful, because sometimes people think they're giving you a grace when they don't speak to you. You know, here you go. Let me give you this wonderful grace. I'm not talking to me. It's like, okay. So what I want to pay attention to is, who am I being? Who am I being? And Heather has a tendency. I am a Sagittarius. Sagittarius loves the truth. I am on the spectrum, as we all are, neurodivergent, and neurodivergent humans love the truth. And I personally love the truth. If you give me the truth and it feels like a gut punch and it's true and it's a way that I need to evolve, I will always be grateful. It'll hurt. It might hurt my feelings. It might even be like, ouch. But I'm highly likely, and have many times, to come back to you and go, thank you, that was true. And I do need to work on that. And I appreciate that honesty. Because to me, I can do much with the truth. I can't do anything with a barrel of lies. And the truth will always be known, you know? And so I always appreciate the truth. And I tend to hand it, but I can hand it rather abrasively, because Sagittarius can be quite blunt. So again, a neurodivergent person, it's like, well, here's this thing that I witnessed that is the truth that I feel like is helpful. If we shine light on the truth, we can all heal, you know. And the heart of the matter, our agua de vida, the way we feel, this, I believe, we talk about our brain, and some people talk about the gut being the second brain, but we definitely relate to these things being our intelligence, the intelligence in our body. I do not believe that. I think they are second intelligence. First intelligence, prime wisdom is your heart. Mon corazón, mon cœur, my heart. This is the highest intelligence, because see, your brain will lie to you. Your brain will tell you, like, you suck, or like, people don't like you, or people did that because you're unlovable, or your brain will tell you things that are not true, and it will state them to you as the truth. Your stomach will tell you things that are not true. You know, it'd be really good right now is a bunch of sugar. Sugar's an immunosuppressant and a depressant. So these brains are cool, but they're also kind of dumb sometimes. You know what I mean? They don't always work in the truth. Your heart is deeply honest. It's deeply truthful to you. It'll tell you immediately, this doesn't feel good. It tells you immediately where your brain needs to get on program to speak better, greater, higher truth, so that you can honor the fact that your heart temple, your heart synagogue, your heart church, your heart sacred, sanctified, holy ground doesn't like what's going down. It'll tell you right away, I don't like this. It'll also tell you, oh, I love this. You know what I mean? It's very clear. Like, I love to be in nature. I try to go to the mountain as often as I can, because when I'm in nature, I feel at home. I'm like a feral woman. Like, I don't really belong inside of walls. And when I get in nature, everything about nature feels like my frequency, and that makes me feel at home, and I feel in absolute magical, mystical, miraculous communion with all of nature. And it makes me feel really settled in my bones, and my heart delights in it. It delights and awakens and feels joyous and safe and surrendered and all of these glorious things. So for me, being in nature is one of the ways that my heart lets me know, I like this, more of this, please. But there are circumstances where my heart goes, I find this most unpleasant. Unpleasant. No, thank you. 0 stars, left swipe, And it lets me know, like, how much of this am I going to do? Many two-leggeds today are walking through a life where their heart is telling them every single day, this doesn't feel good. And because they have a tremendous big heart, because they have a lot of empathy, they are allowing themselves to be manipulated by another human, to be misused by another human. They often are allowing someone else to sit in their temple chair. There's something that Heather's been looking at quite a bit lately around empathy vampirism, where a two-legged that is a taker gets connected to an empathy person that is a giver. Now, the giver needs to give to someone, so you got to be careful about how much you want to give in this life. Heather loves to give and has a difficult time receiving. And because of that, I create an energetic imbalance in the universe, and the universe loves balance. And it's my job to also give other two-leggeds the grace, the glory, the freedom, the privilege to share their agape, their unconditional love, their bountiful heart, their loving kindness with me. I am worthy of it. I am deserving. And it is a grace to my kin to let my brethren express their love to me. However, there are those people that are absolute takers. Taker, taker, taker. Me, I. Anyhow, back to me. And if you get into a place to where you confront them with it, they'll go, oh, yeah, I'm the worst. Yeah, you're right. I guess I'm terrible, which is empathy vampirism. What we're doing is acknowledging what you're doing that's not working. And instead of us having an actual conversation that ever leads to any type of alteration, you are using my empathy to once again side with you. And it's a manipulation. And I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. I don't have to participate in this manipulation where we use my tremendous heart as a poison to me. My heart is meant to be a gift to me in everything that I see. And in that vein, often we have grievances with others. Do you have a grievance with a family member, with a lover, with a former lover, with a friend, with someone in the river of your life? This ease is created in the body by holding grievances. I don't have resentment. I don't resent. And I have a million terrible tales I could tell you. Heather has seen too much is the way I often say it to myself and say it in my prayers. I've seen too much, Lord. Do we need to gouge out all 3 of my eyes? Because it's been too much. I almost don't want to look upon your world anymore. You've shown me too much of the darkness that's available here. And that's how I have a dharma of illumination. That's how I became the soul that wanted to illuminate the darkness, is to be willing to look into the shadows and to not have to run from them. But it's been a lot to witness. And I don't resent a single being from 0 to 50. I know that people are doing what they can with the matrix they have. Psychology often calls it a disorder, but actually many of people's psychological disorders are quite orderly and are the natural math that will occur with that type of trauma in a childhood or throughout the life or complex PTSD. The math adds up. It's very orderly. That's a personality matrix you get when you have those traumas. So I understand the roots behind false actions of separation from my brethren. However, I do have grief. I have tremendous grief that so many two-leggeds find it so easy to be in such a false state. You are the light of love. You are the glory of love. You are the capacity for unconditional love. And anytime you lose sight on that magnificent, glorious, bountiful agua de vida that you be, anytime, you have been given master teachers that have offered you the opportunity to forgive 490 times even if you need to. Because forgiveness is the way we build a bridge where we've put a wall. Forgiveness is the way we come to understand, I don't know you at all. I thought that I did, and I chose to be attacked by you, and I chose to dislike you because of it. But instead, let me let you be you. Let me to give to both of us, that we might restore ourselves to the sanity of, I have compassion. I have done wrong in this life too. Let me love you. How much are you loving with your life? You can always subscribe to Rare Bird Medicine on YouTube. Amun.